Welcome to the No Limits Podcast, where limits do not exist, where you can create cash flow, equity, and real freedom with the power of real estate.
3, 4. Now, we will begin.
Welcome to the dojo. The dojo. This is Todd Toback, and welcome to the No Limits Real Estate Investing Podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about 6 things that you can do when a seller ghosts you. Before I jump into today's episode, if you have not been to our website, No Limits Real Estate Investing.com, I got a special gift there for you. It's called the No Limits Wholesaling Map, the Massive Action Plan. And if you're just getting started or if you're looking to hire a team, this is going to give you a step-by-step action plan for you to do that. So go to No Limits Real Estate Investing.com. Also, if you have been enjoying the show, please share it, copy and paste the link and text it to 3 of your associates, colleagues, teammates, or somebody that you know needs to hear it. All right, well, let's jump into the 6 things that you can do when a seller ghosts you. Well, first, let's define what ghosting is, right? Ghosting is a business person, a salesperson, an acquisitions person's worst nightmare. You've been talking to a seller and they sound motivated. They've got a problem that you can solve. Remember, we are in this business to help sellers who are in situations where they're looking to trade equity for speed and convenience, right? We're going to lock up this property for a profit or lock it up at a price where we can make a profit and then go and sell it to a cash buyer or hold it as a rental or fix it and flip it, whatever we have to do to exit that property for maximum profit. And so when we're talking to distressed sellers, we're going to run into people who have a problem, and sometimes they're hot and they're hot to trot and they're ready to go. And as we're talking to them, we can feel the paycheck, we hear the motivation, we feel like we can solve this problem, and it sounds like we're gonna get a contract, right? We are running, we're feeling great, adrenaline's flowing, and all of a sudden, boom, they disappear, right? It's gut-wrenching. And so I don't know if you have ever been there. If you've been in this business any length of time, I bet you've experienced this. And if you haven't, if you're brand new, well, great. I can prepare you for this because it's going to happen. Here's the good news. I'm going to give you the 6 things that you can do to get some of these sellers back on track. So when a seller ghosts you, this happens for one of 2 reasons. Number 1, they've gotten busy, life's gotten in the way, there's been some chaos, a personal problem. And this is natural, right? They have gotten themselves into the situation for a reason, right? Their life is in chaos, or they are tired of the property, or they have other things going on in their life, and that is okay. Or 2, they may have cooled off on dealing with you, right? They could be shopping their offer. They could be talking to an agent or a friend, convincing them to go in a different direction. And both of those are okay, right? We've got to find the truth. So one of the things that I've trained others in the No Limits selling system, and if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, is to hit sellers between the eyes with honesty, all right? So we've got to figure out which one of those 2 reasons it is. If it's the first one, right, we are going to get them back on track by pushing them in a direction to do business with us. Or if they've cooled off or they're going to go into another direction, we're going to push them away from us. So these techniques that I'm going to give you is going to let us know the truth, where we stand, so that you could take this gut punch where most people give up and have anxiety, and now you could turn it into revenue, or you're now going to save your time so that you could find that revenue. So here is technique 1, and I'm going to assume that technique 1 will work when that first scenario is the problem, right? Maybe they've gotten busy, life has gotten away, or there's some chaos in their life. So I learned this technique actually from my dad. I grew up watching my dad run telemarketing centers, and they used to sell magazine renewals by phone. And these were actually the phones that plugged into the wall and had the dial pad right there on the, I think they'd call it a cassette. But one of the things my dad taught me was that Monday through Friday, they used to call normal calling hours, right? From 9 to 5. But one day a week, on Thursday nights, they used to have a crew come in and call at night. This was from 7 to 9 at night, or it was maybe from 6 to 10. I don't remember, but you get the point. It's a different pattern, right? Where they are calling at night. And they used to have a crew come in on Saturday morning to make calls. So sometimes you have a seller who's just got a tough schedule, right? Where they're working one or two jobs, or they are watching young kids, or they are taking care of parents. But for whatever reason, they can't get back to you during the day, or maybe they just don't answer phone calls during the day, right? Some people are like, oh, this is a telemarketer. So it's really important to switch up your calling schedule. And so what I would recommend is that one day a week you work in the evenings, right? Or one day a week you decide to work on a Saturday, just a couple hours. Now, here is the great part. When you're first getting started, you can do this yourself. Or if you don't want to do this, if you set a rule for yourself, you can eventually hire someone to do this for you. But here's the great thing is that people sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes people who would never pick up the phone during the week during regular business hours all of a sudden pick up that phone during the evening hours or on Saturday mornings. I don't know what it is, but that pattern interrupt gets some people just because, and again, when I say I don't know what it is, some people, A, will just pick up the phone at different hours, or two, they actually are busy. And now you're able to get them back on the phone and get the deal back on track. Obviously, that's a simple solution. Number two, mix up your communication type. So you want to use text, you want to use email, you want to use voicemail, and you want to use the phone. Okay. And for a really, really good deal, maybe you want to go knock on the door. I have seen that work for some people, right? Different people respond to different text mediums. So some people love to talk on the phone, and that's how they want to communicate. Some people want to communicate by text because A, they're used to it, or B, sometimes they feel like it's a little bit more non-threatening, right? You can even use Facebook Messenger. Voicemail is great where you can obviously leave a message and just touch it. And sometimes people, they get your message, they know you're there, but they are just not ready to do business. So it's okay to leave that message. And of course, phone always works. One of the things to realize when I give you tips like this is that not all of these are going to work all of the time, but all of these will work some of the time. And that's really, really important. You start implementing these habits, you're going to win. Number three, if you lose communication with a seller, again, you want to get that fish back on the line, try a video message, right? Grab your phone and record a video and say, hey, Mr. Seller, I haven't been able to get a hold of you. When I spoke to you, it sounded like you were interested in doing business. And if that's not the case, just let me know. But I just wanted to wave and say hi and reach out, right? And see if that pattern interrupt does something, right? Something about a video will draw you closer to your prospect. So if you've got a dog or a cat or a pet or a kid or a spouse, whatever that is, use that to your advantage. Make yourself a real person and just not someone else on the other end of the line. I've seen a video message work multiple times. And a matter of fact, we just did a deal where one of our acquisition specialists couldn't get a seller back on the line. They sent a video message and he had a little bulldog on his lap, and that the seller responded with a big smiley face, and that got the deal back on track, right? So different things, different people. One of my coaches and mentors, who I think I mentioned in the last episode, he taught me to CYA, right? Change your approach if something is not working, and a video message is a way to do this. Okay, number four is send a pull away text. So this is a pattern interrupt where you do something that the seller is completely not expecting. So one of the things I talk about in the no limit selling system is running towards the truth, right? Well, sometimes you need to run away from the deal, right? So if you feel resistance from a seller, meaning that they are starting to back away from the deal, not because they're busy, but because maybe they're shopping, or you feel like maybe they weren't as motivated as they were. Okay, try the pull away text. So I say, Mr. Seller, it sounds like you've decided to go in a different direction. Can you confirm? Question mark. Right? That's one way. Now you could try different variations of that, but that one is proven to work in our company. Now, most people are going to be scared to leave that kind of text message. Do you know why? Because they're scared of the truth. Why the heck Would you be scared of the truth, right? If they give you the answer saying, no, I'm still interested, or yes, I'm going in a different direction, both are good. You're going to save your energy. You're going to save time. You're going to save your pride. And if you're going to get the deal, great. I'm happy for you. And if you don't, well, now you know you could move on to the next seller. And this is going to give you a tremendous amount of personal power. Now, let me give you the fifth method, which is the second pull away text. So if they don't confirm to, like, say, a video or that pull away text, then I'm going to try something, a different pattern interrupt. And I'm going to say, was it something I said? Question mark. Then hit send. Now that is a different kind of text message. And sometimes you're going to get a response or a laugh, or someone really does feel like you're offended, right? So they could say, no, I've been busy, or no, I've changed my mind. So try that one. Again, it's not going to work every time, but it's going to work some of the time. All right, let's talk about the sixth thing. And that is just giving this time and then recycling back to the lead. Sometimes people were motivated or they were hot to trot and they seem like they were ready to do business, and they're not going to respond to that text message or the video message or the second text message or the pull away, and they go completely ghost, right? And that is okay. Sometimes that situation seemed like it was going to get better for them, but life will go on, right? These people are natural procrastinators, and believe you me, this problem will rear its ugly head again. Now, you got to make sure that you are the one they're going to call if they have a problem. So if you try all of these things, do not throw away this lead. That's what the amateurs do. You are a professional. So set it up for a 1-month follow-up or a 3-month follow-up or a 6-month follow-up. Make sure you're emailing them and texting them on a regular basis. If you have some kind of autoresponder or you do this automatically, that would be even better. But put them in that follow-up sequence. Again, don't beg people to do business with you, right? You are not desperate, but just check in, and some of these are going to turn into deals. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have not been to our website, nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com, download the massive action plan. Okay, this is going to give you a step-by-step. If you have not done a deal, or if you're looking to build a team, this is a phenomenal roadmap to get you on your path to financial freedom. And again, if you have not shared the episode and you've enjoyed these, you enjoyed the content, then just copy and paste the link to the episode wherever you consume this content and text it to 3 of your colleagues or friends or teammates, wherever else you think would benefit. So I can't wait for the next episode. On our next show, we're going to talk about why you can't catch fish with your line out of the water.